if you have one of these and you've got one of these, then you need one of these. Hi guys, just a very quick update. I've been messing around with the electrics in the van because we have a router, exactly the same router that we had in the old van, but for some reason it kept powering off. I mean, like literally just shutting off. And I'm like, why the hell would it do that? And I spoke with the guy that helped me with the electrics and other things. I went in forums, couldn't really get a response. And then I thought to myself, hang on, I remember seeing a video, which I'm going to link down below, from Gadget John about voltage regulators. And it just sparked a memory, and I thought, maybe that's my problem. Maybe it's the battery that's delivering too much power. So I came to the conclusion that if you have one of these and you've got one of these, then you need one of these. Let me explain. For anybody who doesn't know, the previous van that we had was on AGM batteries. AGM batteries will give, I think, between 12 and 13 volts. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So running the router directly off the battery or through a fuse box, not an issue. It worked all day, every day, no issues, no problems. However, this van has a lithium phosphate battery, 628 amp hours. And I've been watching the voltage and it kind of hovers around 13.5. If I check the terminals, it can go up to 14, especially when it's on charge. So that voltage is going through the fuse box directly to the router, and the router requires 12 volts at 1.5 amps. So it's obviously not happy. It's shutting itself down because it's overheating. Luckily, it's got some kind of protection and I haven't blown up the router because they're not cheap. So I went off and found a voltage regulator that will do the job. It was 12 amps at 12 volts at 3 amps. I stand corrected. And it's worked flawlessly for the last 24, 48 hours while I've had it plugged in. The router previously, every time I started the engine, it would shut off. Every time I was running, it would shut off. The only way I could get the router to run effectively was to use the mains adapter plugged into the EcoFlow, which then had to be plugged into the inverter to keep a charge, which just seems bonkers, obviously. But at least it worked and I had reliable internet. Now the EcoFlow is just a redundant power source, but I'm going to do a video on that later. So the point here is, if you're running any equipment that is even the slightest bit delicate and requires 12 volts at a particular amperage, I would recommend getting a voltage regulator. According to the video by Gadget John there, things worked better. The max air fan that he had worked better. I can say, hand on heart, that router works a lot better and it gets better throughput. The speed that I'm getting upload and download is far better than when it was just coming direct from the battery. So yeah, get yourself a voltage regulator, guys. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of hassle, and possibly a lot of money, because if you've got for example, a 200 or 300 pound router connected to your battery, whether it be via a fuse box or not is irrelevant. If it goes pop, you have to buy another one. And I've put the lowest fuse rating on that at 5 amps that I've got to hand. That router can easily handle that, but it will turn off if it gets 5 amps, I would imagine. So any questions, leave them down in the comments, guys. If you like the video, please give it a like. Let others know, because it is really handy information to know. and it was actually not that difficult to fit. I'll drop in a quick video here. I'll just remove the audio. So you've got the cable that comes from the battery via the fuse box, and that then is connected to the voltage regulator via some lever nuts, I think they're called, or Wago style blocks. Then that connects to an adapter that goes directly to the router. However, one little caveat is the core of the cables to the router are really fine. They're not designed to carry more than an amp and a half, 2 amps. So I had to double them over a couple of times, kind of quadruple them over and then twist them together to get them to fit in the Wago blocks that I've used, or the push blocks that I've used. But once I did that, it worked fine. I also tested the voltage out of the voltage regulator. It wasn't actually exactly 12 volts, it was 12.3 volts, but the router's happy with it and I'm happy with that. Like I said, guys, please send us a like and a subscribe, because we will be putting more videos out like this. And if you've got any questions, just leave them down in the comments. Or there are links to the products in the description as well. Yeah, we do get a little bit of commission on that, and I think it's like cents commission, but at least it makes life easier for you to find what you need.